Alright, I fixed the title. I apologize if anyone was watching a few seconds ago when it first started. But yeah. So the streams have been getting about 50 to 70 views. I want to thank you all for watching. And if you haven't seen this, like if you stopped watching and now this is a new person, thanks for advance for watching. And for anyone who doesn't know, we're going to be playing through the Phoenix Wright series and the subsequent other games of characters that are related to Phoenix, such as Miles and Apollo and I guess the Great Ace. It's Phoenix's ancestor, maybe, or I'm not 100% on that one. Underground abduction or auction. All right, now we got to do Lada again. Lada was a pain in the butt because I don't think I'm good at a southern accent. I didn't just hide my stupid statue the whole time, you know. You didn't. Then where were you? Well, when I first got here, you know what? It ain't important right now. So you were hiding behind the statue from the very beginning. Anywho, I watched all them folks from my spot right in the shadows. I see, so you were watching from behind the statue. They used that elevator to go down below. And once they were all down there, I snuck and took a peek at what was going on. You mean the elevator remained in the room beneath? Nah, they sent it back up, but there's a little peeky hole if you know where to look. Elevator ain't quite sit flush with the floor, see? And if you bend down and squint just right, you can see the whole shebang. Did you catch sight of who was in charge? Alright, sure, I guess I did. Ain't half good a story if you don't get the glimpse of the old evil ringleader after all. I wonder who this ringleader is. I'll ask her some more. The ringleader. You mentioned a ringleader. Can you tell me any more about them? Y'all should know I came here to get me an exclusive. I ain't exclusive, or it ain't exclusive enough much damaged goods if y'all done spilled the beans already. I see. So you don't actually know anything about them. If you think that's why she won't give us an answer, makes sense, I guess. Huh, you got me. Couldn't see if it was a man or a woman, a kid or an old timer, nothing. What were they wearing? Could you see that at least? Sure, white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower on the lapel. Then the three things that I remembered. But what's a good description of an outfit if I don't got a clue who's wearing it? So the ringleader disguised their identity to look just like everybody else. Yes, sirree, a mask, a voice changer, the whole 9 yards. They were wearing one of the masks. Which one? Let me see. Yeah, this guy, Zervan. Zervan? What kind of name is that? Seriously, Mr. Edgeworth? You never heard of Zervan? He's a global hero of Onion Kopan's arch nemesis. Who hasn't heard of Zervan, the Time Lord? I think it would be me because this is new content. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Hold on. I didn't make a visit. That's not what I wanted. This might not work. I might have to put it over. So it didn't work last time. Yeah, it's still doing it. I gotta figure out why it's doing that. And not let me just have it on the... Alright, let's go. I think you might be better asking who was. So you didn't get a glimpse of their faces at all? No, I dang well didn't. Which kind of gooches my scoop. This whole mess has been nothing but a snipe hunt. Should have never come. We know of somebody who dressed like that. Maybe we should try showing that evidence to Miss Hart. Remove this controller. Okay. That way I can move this closer to easier to press the button. Take that. You said that the ringleader was wearing a white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower, correct? Sure did. Don't ask me why it was dressed. Don't ask me why they were dressed up like a peacock in a parade day. But they was. Is this the outfit you saw? Well, holy smokes. It sure the heck is. But wait. So the big cheese is dead? Oh, we know that she is the victim in a case that we're investigating. Her name was Rosie Ringer. Do you know her? Nope. So the ringleader was a lady. Well, I ain't just slippier than a dang eel. Throwing me off like no man's jacket like that. Throw me off with a man's jacket like that. I'd hardly think she did it to fool you specifically. But setting that aside for now, what is important is that we discovered something vital for the case. Namely, at the underground auction was a chair by none other than our victim. So somebody done bumped off the boss, huh? Then what was happening? When what was happening? Oh, nothing at all. You just go on about your business now. No offense, Miss Hart, but that made you sound about 5 times more suspicious. Suspicious my foot, I told you. It's nothing. And you won't get nothing out of me. Nothing more out of me than that. Wait, so there is more. How many dang times do I gotta tell you? It ain't nothing, okay? It ain't saying nothing either way. Oh, you can tell us just a little more. Pretty please. I'll tell you this, okay? I'm a journalist. A news hound. A scoop hunter, you hear? Exclusive articles go out, money comes in. That's how the game is played. Tell you more? Heck, I've done all I told you. Too much already. Wait, what if I examine some fingerprints for you? Pro bono. What kind of cockamamie thank you is that? I'd sooner get a tooth pulled. You want intel? You gotta dig it up yourselves, just like I had to. Okay, guess she isn't gonna talk to either of us. Oh, she will. I'll handle things from here, Emma. There's a certain technique I find useful when dealing with difficult customers such as her. She may not give up the information voluntarily, but that doesn't mean she can't be persuaded to. It's mind chess time. Let's start by observing our opponent. I ain't telling you nothing, you hear? Now quit wasting my time before I really blow a fuse. As we've seen, she's very quickly tempered. She'll try to cut off conversation dead whenever possible. I won't have much time to think, so I need to be swift and decisive. Miss Hart is definitely hiding something from me. So my first move is to discover what that something is. Mind just commence. Tell me what you know. This is probably not the one I should do this. I need to tell me everything you need to know. And I don't dare leave anything out. Don't go jump in a creek, you big bully. So, why should you tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me. Nor me with you, neither. I don't have a clue how to proceed this line of questioning. I better try another tact. I can see that you're a little agitated, Miss Hart. Let's just be calm. I am calm, dang you. At least ways I could just... just as soon as y'all quit yanking my dang chain. Man. That's better. Being a news town and all is all about keeping a cool head no matter what the world throws at you. See? Speaking of news hounds, this might be of interest to you. I met one a few days ago. She was very hungry. Young reporter indeed. A reporter with a very particular turn of phrase, similar to your own, in fact. Oh yeah? She spoke like me, huh? Guess that could have been someone I know. Her name was Tabby Lloyd, and if I had closed my eyes, I could have believed I was listening to you. She told me about somebody called the Chief. She was talking about you, wasn't she? Oh, so you met Tabby Lloyd, huh? Well, ain't that something? Where did y'all bump into her? She's a great kid, reckon. Wait, oh, no you don't. You ain't getting on my good side bringing her into this, you sneaky snake. Who? You really had me, too. Interesting. Talking about Miss Lloyd seemed to make her lower her guard a little. I think we can use that to our advantage. I need you to tell me everything you know, and don't dare leave anything out. Go jump in a creek, you big bully. Why should I tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me, nor with you, neither. Time to deploy my glue. I don't have anything to do with you. That's a little unkind, don't you think? After all, I know your apprentice, and you were also in a case I was in. And you tried to frame me. Or at least Manfred did. I know her pretty well, in fact. Yeah, well, guess it does seem kind of cold to me to say that if you know her pretty good. Wouldn't want a poor kid thinking I don't give rats behind. Good. Then you'll tell us what you know. Fine, see? It's like this. Wait, what am I thinking, dang it? Lada, you can't let him bamboozle you that easy. What about a scoop? Oh, forget it. It was nothing. How embarrassing, a professional journalist making a careless slip of the tongue. You have a scoop, don't you? Now tell me, what is it? Yeah. Alright. I got me a scoop. A big one. But I can't just go blabbing about it to all y'all. I got bills to pay. She may be hiding something very important. I'll have to get it out of her somehow. We need to know the details of this scoop. She's quick to anger, but she's also quick to let key information slip. Now that we know that, the rest shouldn't be too hard. Let's see, what else can we get out of her? Your big scoop involves something criminal in nature, doesn't it? It might be I did, or maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Which is it? This is important. Alright, you don't gotta holler at me like that. I ain't done nothing shameful or nothing, just snuck in and did some undercover reporting. I'll be the judge of whether your actions were shameful or not. His unlawful entry into a private property is very shameful indeed. In fact, it's a crime. Hey, I did the exact same thing, genius. Oh, but I guess you're a prosecutor, huh? You're allowed to do stuff like that. Let's not mention the fact I handed in my badge, shall we? Still, it don't amount to a whole hill of beans, right? There are folks out there that could have done way worse. Murder for one. Next to a murder, trespass. It ain't hardly nothing. From your mutterings about a murder just now, I gather that your scoop had something to do with a murder or with a homicide. Nah, it's just taken all hypothetical like. You know, about a murder, a big one, ain't nothing worse than a murderer. Oh boy. Not the most skillful evasion I've heard in my career. Look, I told you. Look, like I done told you, okay? I snuck into the auction. I'll cop to that. But murder? I don't know nothing about no murder. Ain't seen nothing, ain't heard nothing. Scout's honor. This scoop of yours, does it have something to do with the auction? You know what? I clean forget. But you tried to infiltrate the underground auction. It only stands to reason that you were observed something. Otherwise, what would you have to write about? I don't know what to tell you. I didn't hear none. Man, that time goes out way too fast. You do realize you have nowhere to turn, don't you? Quit riding. Oh, quit riding me, will ya? This whole thing's a waste of my precious time. Yeah. I should have picked my words more wisely. I don't got time for this Hogswill. That's it. I'm out of here. Curses. I can't give up now. I do have to keep pushing. All right, once more into the breach. Or let's skip up to the... No, really? Damn. Why is it on the wrong one? If you don't hear the sound of nothing, does that mean you did hear the sound of something? Something during your time in this room. Well, see, it's nothing really. It's just a little noise is all. Wouldn't even make the page 16. Forgot I mentioned it. So something did happen during the auction. Something that made a noise of some kind. This could be a valuable clue. Since we did this part. We did this part already. Time to deploy my clue. You told me you heard something during the auction. You claimed it wasn't important, but it must have been. Otherwise, why remember it? I think it was something very memorable indeed. In fact, I believe it was the very cry of the murder victim. Yeah. How do you keep doing that? Alright, it's true. I wound up smack dab in the middle of the murder scene, but only by accident. And that's all you're getting out of me. Won't be no scoop left otherwise. A murderer Miss Hart witnessed. It must be the same murderer we ourselves have been investigating. That should prove a very valuable piece of information indeed. Perhaps we should finish up by confirming the credibility of her claim. I'll have her on her back foot now. Time to finish this. You said you wound up in the middle of a murder scene. Is that really true? You call me a liar now? Hoo-wee! Now I'm mad. Real mad. I'm a journalist. How am I gonna sell stories if folks can't trust what I'm telling the truth? I got me a motto, you know, faster than anybody, honester than anybody. A motto, huh? That could be an important clue. I should bear it in mind. To be honest, Miss Hart, I know there's something you're still not telling me. I got nothing left to tell it, dang it. I done spilled my guts already. I needed you to describe the murder in detail. It's vitally important. I wish I could help y'all, but I don't rightly recall the whole bunch. Ain't much I can tell you. Sorry, I mean, look at me. I can't even get my facts straight half the time. Time to deploy my clue. Can't imagine being so vague on the facts is a trait valued among journalists. Surely accuracy and honesty are what necessarily we when reporting on a story. Well, see, it seems your so-called information is not credible after all. Look, there was a murder, and I was there. I can even prove it, Grumble. You can prove it, can you? How? I got it right. Wait, you heard that? I was just talking to myself. Don't you think nothing of it? She is still hiding something. This very vital clue. I need to use them as an effect. Be honest, Miss Hart. Time to deploy my clue. I know you've been keeping something from me. And that something is proof. Proof related to the murder you witnessed. Proof sound enough to form the basis of a story you're hoping to sell. Dang it, all the heck. Give me a break, will you? And come clean, okay? That's what you want, right? Here, I done snapped of me a photo. Happy now? You better be. And that's checkmate. Mind chess. Checkmate. Can't believe I let that happen. Betrayed by my own big mouth. Well, it happened, so it's time to tell us everything. I saw the whole thing, watched that auction from start to finish. But you didn't just watch it, right? You took pictures too. Yeah, about that. So, like I said, I was spying the whole thing right from the get-go. It was all shouting out bids, out somebody to win something, and bam, down comes the hammer. Head upstairs and pay, shouts the old ringleader. And that's when the whole thing starts all over again. Anyhow, as soon as it happened, I had to think quick. That's when I ran behind that statue and hid. And who was it that eventually appeared? Didn't see nothing, but I heard something that made me pretty sure it was whoever placed the winning bid. The sweet, sweet sound of a cold, hard cash. I'm not sure I have any idea what that sounds like. But the sound of someone counting bills, perhaps. Anyhow, the deal was settled. Your bills up here. I heard two people yabbering for a little while. Wait, so two people came up on the elevator? You betcha. My guess is the other one was our friend, the ringleader. Anyway, yabber, 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 yabber. On goes a little, and then, a scream. That shook me up pretty good. So I hunkered down in my hiding place and tried to stay out of sight. So you didn't see the moment of the murder? Nah, but I heard it real good. You didn't try to help whoever was being attacked? Quit trying to be funny, girly. It don't suit you none. I'm just a dating little journalist. All on her lonesome. You think I was fixing to jump in to save the day? Dainty. Anyhow, then there was a bunch of rustling sounds. Right when that happened, I got to feeling pretty bad about what I'd done. That makes sense, I guess. After all, you didn't. I didn't remember to get out my camera, snap even a single picture. Scoop like that drops right in my lap. and I ain't missed it. Somebody ought to tan my hide. Anyhow, then a little more time goes by. There's this kind of clatter noise. I'm there thinking, gotta go get the shot this time. And so I'll grab one real quick from the shadows there. Could we see this photograph? Oh, I don't have to. Here. That's the person in the red raincoat. The one who attacked Kay. So Kay's raincoat assailant attacked the victim here in the storeroom, then proceeded up to the roof, where they assaulted Kay. There's only one person in this picture. Where's the victim? Weird, huh? I wondered the same thing. I heard two people, but there was only one in the shot I got. I didn't see nobody nowhere else in the room, neither. But that's the killer, alright. Leastways, I'm pretty sure it is. So we are saying the victim disappeared. How did you know it was the killer just by looking? Because they're literally red-handed with blood. How else would it get there, huh? And the auction just carried on after that? Sure did. They went right along like nothing had happened. Rich folks are crazier than a box of frogs. I'll never understand how they think. Funny. I find journalists they struggle to understand as well. Oh boy, this whole experience just boggled up guy's mind. Mysterious storerooms, damsels in distress. It's got a lot. Could you at least try to take things a little more seriously, Fender? Hey, I could try. No, but seriously, I'm keen to help Kay as soon as you are. She's safe with me. And go do your thing. It's not Kay I'm worried about, it's you. Okay, can I look at this oddly looking... Oh shit. The painting in the back, that's Grossberg's. Oh man. I don't believe there's any more to be found here. There's a section of masks arranged on the rack here. Even a steel samurai. And what is impressively authentic like this, it is too. The scientist in me is sensing something strange, although a lack of consistency, you know? In the sense that the character represented here feel a little haphazardly somehow. I don't disagree. There's even an empty space here. Yeah, just an empty hook. Right in the middle. Is somebody using that one, perhaps? Okay, do I have to do mind games? If the storeroom was the actual scene of the crime, then you'd expect the body to have been up here at some point as well. Huh? Well, yeah. But think back to what Miss Hart told us about the customers left the auction. Do you remember? Of course, they came up from downstairs, back through the storeroom, and oh. Exactly. The killer would have had to hide the body in order to avoid its discovery. The question is, where did they hide it? Emma, if you would mind putting your skills to work for me now. I'd love to. You just say what you need and I'll get right on it. Very well. Then I'd like you to check for blood residue, a luminol test in other words. Sure thing. Perhaps to witness the power of science. I've never seen somebody's eyes actually sparkle with anticipation before. Alright. How about we test the ladder over there first? Based on Miss Hart's picture, I say the person in red raincoat was about to climb it and make their escape, which means there's a high chance of positive result. To test an area, just press X. I'll spray a little luminol on it. And if it happens to land on some blood, you'll see it react like this. It feels super raw to see it appear like that. Anyway, that's a positive, but it's still faint. Spraying a couple more times should be enough to really make it stand out. Yeah, I brought it out nicely. It made it feel like it much more real. Anyway, I think you got the gist of it now. Look for traces of blood now, right? I'm sure there's still some more to be found, so why don't you give it a try? Did he not put his hands on the rungs at all? Take a good look around and see what you can find. Some other places to test with luminol. You want to test here? Sorry, it's a negative. You want to test there? Sorry, it's a negative. You want to test there? Just spray some luminol any place suspicious. We got a positive. There's blood here. But how come? Probably because this is where the murder was actually committed, I'd say. Oh, looks like there's some of it dripped through the floor below too. There are still places we haven't tested yet. Let's see what else we can find. Let's see what else we can find. You want to test there? Sorry, it's a negative. You want to test there? Sorry, it's a negative. You want to test there? Sorry, it's a negative. You want to test there? That's where he hid the body. Mr. Edgeworth, blood. But how could it have gotten there? Maybe somebody put something with blood on it in there. I think that's all the blood there is to be found. Alright, then that concludes this phase of our investigation. So now what? What do I click on now? Blood was in the close box can only mean one thing. That there is where the body was hidden. I'm certain of it. I wonder who won the box in the auction. I haven't the foggiest. Still, very helpful discovery. Now now hold your horses there. There is no way the body could have been in there. What do you mean? Take a look at that there box when I first got in here. Looked to just be a perfect sized little hide and go seek. If the need arose. Maybe it would have been if I could open it. But it was wrapped in chains, locked up tight. And I ain't no escapologist. The murder happened just a little after I scooped it out. So nobody can have put nobody in there. Wrapped in chains and locked up tight, you say? That's odd. Because it doesn't look like to be wrapped in any chains. Wrapped in chains any longer. Huh? Well, slap my head and call me silly. Could have swore it was, though. Now, how long has the body been in there would be the actual question. Because if it was in there longer... I think we examined all we can now. Great, time to see what's waiting down below. Shaking a leg already, Miles? Okie dokie. Hey, K-Meister. Yes, Mr. Fender? We're about ready to move out, so you want to stick with me, okay? Can't have you getting lost. Of course. I'll be sure to stay close. When did those two start getting along so well? What? Mr. Edgeworth? What are you two doing here? Oh, shit. This room. This is the auction room? No, this is the committee chamber. Oh, yeah. Way to drop in right into my lap, K. Faraday. Did she get her memory back? You got real guts, I'll give you that. Arrest her, men. Arrest her right now. Wait, but she's... As for the rest of the riffraff, throw them into the streets, where they belong. You can't do this. This is going way overboard. Oh, did the blood drop down onto the statue from the Oh. Yeah, what? Yeah, what she said. Miles, this isn't looking good. I gotta say. See how the blinding light of just yow. Yowie. What did I do? You just good for whipping. You'll have to forgive me. I meant to hit a certain cowardly ex-prosecutor. Tried to hit a drone. You weren't aiming for him? You were aiming straight at me. Something keeps getting in the way of my... Right there. Franziska. So you, so what are you doing here, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor? I still believe Kay is to be innocent. And were you supposed to care what you believe? You no longer have the right of an opinion. I am Franziska von Karma, we know that. And I have no intention of stopping here or now. But you chose to stop giving... You chose to stop by giving up your badge. And so our game has already come to an end. My badge was an obstacle to proceed along the road I have chosen. I haven't stopped, I simply cleared the way ahead. And now I'm free to follow that road, all the way to the truth. So don't you think for a second that my conviction has changed. I'm every bit as dedicated as I ever was. You seem to think you know what lies at the end of the road. This road. The road of truth. In that case, I demand that you show it to me. I'll explain my current theory first. And if your road fails to lead anywhere, my whip will happily guide it. Oh, I gotta discredit Franziska. Alright, let's do it. The victim used her keycard, entered this chamber with her killer. She was then stabbed with a candelabrum by the culprit and subsequently died as a result. We know the identity of the murderer thanks to the letters she exchanged with the victim. And we know the location of the murderer is here in the committee trial chamber. The blood on the floor of this room proves my theory. Game set and match Miles Edgeworth, QED. She seems pretty confident, huh? She doesn't lack the courage of her convictions, that's for certain. And I gotta say, I dig that vibe. I could even give her a no hard feeling. Stop talking about me. Pathetic. Well, Miles Edgeworth, do you think you can bring my case crashing down around my ears? You really found the road to the truth, perhaps. You will be so kind to point me toward it. I'd be very happy to. Settle in, Franziska. I'm about to pave the road with an incontrovertible evidence. Hold it. And you're saying the data from the security system is accurate. That data is just like me, perfect in every way. There's no room for doubt on either front. Well, your theory is far from perfect. Did you not just see that elevator up there? You know, we could easily get in here without that stupid key guard. Franziska, what are you doing? Or did you come in after when it was all gone? While Pipsqueak was trying to arrest us. You know? I suppose I'm going to change your mind on this so easily, am I? Correct. As I said, the victim entered the room with her killer.
Hold it!
And the stab wound she sustained are a perfect match with the candelabra in question. 3 wounds inflicted by metallic spikes of some kind, in 3 places simultaneously. If you have to agree that there aren't many objects that could do that. Furthermore, Grandma Hertz confirmed the murder weapon in her report. And then there's absolutely no doubt in your mind that it was the candelabrum. No one whatsoever. And for the culprit,
Hold it!
have you managed to prove conclusively that the letter found in the victim was sent by Kay? I wasn't aware that there was any doubt that on that front. Are you suggesting it was a forgery? Well, if there were any doubt, there ain't any longer. Document analysis turned up nothing. Nothing to suggest the involvement of any other than the sender and the recipient, or any forgery. Are you saying that Kay found Kay's print, or are you saying they found Kay's prints? No, only the victims. Well then, how can you say for sure that Kay did the deed? Haven't you been listening? Document analysis found nothing to suggest that the letter was a forgery. Face it, the letter was sent by Kay Faraday. A fact that more adequately proves the identity of the murderer.
Hold it!
You can prove that the murder happened here in the committee chamber, I suppose. Avon Kama is perfect in every way. Oh, will you stop with that? Or did you forget that when you were handed in your badge? Oh, that was so enough in press. Oh.
Hold it!
Has the blood been analyzed to who it belongs to? It has, and unsurprisingly, it was confirmed to be that of the victim. Then has it occurred to you, and has it occurred to you that you, and has it occurred to you that where it was found may not be where the murder took place? How quickly you forget, Miles Edgeworth. The evidence is everything in the courtroom. So please, present your proof of the murder occurred elsewhere. Or kindly stand down. Proof that the murder occurred elsewhere, huh? This isn't a courtroom. But that doesn't mean I can't give her the evidence she clearly desires. She makes a pretty watertight argument, huh? Perhaps. But she doesn't know what we know. You're right. We got a certain scientific discovery up our sleeves. And that discovery will show her the road I found to the truth. Do I present it on the last one? All I want to know. I don't want to go like, hey, Miles, I don't know what that is. Ding.
Objection!
If I remember correctly, the blood discovered in this room was located at the foot of the Goddess of Justice statue. Murder under the gaze of the divine, a brazen act. even for a cold-blooded killer. Except that might not be true at all. Take a look at this, if you would. It's a bloodstain we discovered in the storeroom directly above the committee chamber. As you can see, the blood we found looks to have dripped through the room below, and the elevator it dripped down from descends directly into the foot of the statue. Ah, you noticed. Then you will agree that the murderer cannot in fact have happened in this room. It put it to you that the victim was killed in this room above only after she moved down here. The goddess of justice did not witness a murder. She witnessed a killer trying to cover their tracks. Why is she smiling? Sorry, I was thinking back to a very similar situation. Well done, Miles Edgeworth. You've proven yourself to have been more foolish than I thought. Mr. Edgeworth is anything but a fool, sure. And you should know it. Ouch! Have you forgotten the picture you just showed me? Or are you really that airheaded? Even a cursory glance shows there was more than a blood here in the committee chamber than upstairs. Ouch. Whipped an ignorant... You're trying to tell me that all the blood dripped from above, Miles Edgeworth. If it had, your storeroom stain would need to be 10 times bigger. I'd say that the murder happened down here. There's no way it could have happened anywhere else. Then why would the blood be up there? And insightful as ever, Franziska. But you played right into my hands. How so? You are correct. There is far less blood upstairs than one would expect. The question is, why? A trifling detail in the face of my previous examination. Alas, your explanation doesn't account for why there was blood in the storeroom in the first place. Surely you don't think some splatter managed to shoot itself all the way up there, do you? Whoa, like some crazy fountain of blood? No way. No way indeed. It's completely impossible. So how about this? What if it explains the difference in the amounts of blood observed? There was far more blood in the committee chamber than the storeroom above because... The victim died of 3 stab wounds. Wounds that would have bled profusely. Exactly, as proven by the amount of blood found on the floor of this room. But that doesn't make any sense. Eek! I hate that I cut it off. Franziska, stop whipping everybody. Silence, you half-baked, hair-brained rookie. Hey, hairbrained is a little... A stab wound bleeds the heaviest in one particular point in time. Oh, I know, when the weapon is removed, right? Precisely. I believe the body was brought down here to the committee chamber with the candelabrum still in the chest. And then, when it was finally removed, it created the different amount of blood we see between the 2 locations. But why? Why would the killer was trying to do? I imagine that they were trying to give the impression that the murder happened down here. As we know, Miss Ringer's keycard was used late last night. Judging by the time listed in the record, I'd hazard a guess that it was used by the killer when they returned to the room to create their elaborate setup. But why would they need to do all this in the first place? Perhaps because a person with a face to hide would fear the storeroom being found in the investigation. If they were involved with the underground auction, they couldn't afford to have their dirty secret exposed. Underground auction? You should take a look at the storeroom for yourself. The items up there tell quite a story. One that should more explain what was going on here last night. It's almost endearing, Miles Edgeworth, how desperately you want to protect your friend. There's something just beneath the surface in this case. Something bigger than all of us. And Kay's only crime was to have been a bad fortune to fall right into the middle of it. That's quite the hyperbolic claim. Miles Edgeworth. Hyperbolic, me? Surely you're the one making a mountain out of my perfectly reasonable molehill. You're working with Interpol on an international cases, so why are you investigating a domestic murder? I'll tell you why, because this case has something to do with the smuggling ring you've been chasing. You followed the trail of items being smuggled by the ring and wound up here. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that something I sensed isn't related to any of this. I'm very happy to learn that your giving your badge didn't completely relieve you of your senses. Scruffy here told me about the circumstances that led up to that. By the way, sorry, sure. I just thought it might help, you know. You did the right thing, Detective. Wait, what? So I'm right, Franziska. This incident, part of the broader case you're working. Was the underground auction already on Interpol's radar? Wouldn't you like to know? But you didn't need to know, and so you won't. Then you knew, didn't you? That the auction was being held here in this chamber. Hey, y'all, don't mind if I butt in for a sec? Your victim over there, the lady in white. You. Hey, let a gal finish, will you? No good butter in pain, and then you know what? Youch. Well, this leopard ain't changed its spots. Your testimony is not required, and neither is your presence. What do you mean? I'm a journalist, and you can youch. You're a liar, that's what you are. You lied under oath that one time. It seems like Miss Von Karma's none too fond of Miss Hart, huh? I don't think she's the biggest fan, no. What's she called? Ringer, right? She's a member of this old committee. Well, she's dressed exactly like the ringleader that, ow, stop it. Stop whippering me, dang it. What is the meaning of this interruption? Miles Edgeworth, explain. Miss Hart is here to help us describing how the auctioneer was dressed. And it seems that you're wearing the exact same outfit as the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer. But that would mean the victim was also the ringleader. Now, how about we just calm down? Sure. It seems I have some new information to consider. If that's true, I came here to investigate the underground auction and to arrest its head of operations, the auctioneer. But if Miss Hart is to believe, the ringleader is dead. I guess that means your journey here today was wasted. I suppose it does, nonetheless. I, Franziska von Karma, I refuse to leave empty-handed. Time for a rematch, Miles Edgeworth. Fine by me. But you may find that your whip will go sorely unused this round. Fine, I accept your little explanation. That would make the storeroom the actual scene of the crime, yes? In which the murderer is someone connected to this auction. And the photographer is to be believed to be the victim. And the photographer is to believe the victim was the auctioneer. And the culprit was an attendee. The killer lay in wait for the victim in the storeroom where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place. And they then stabbed the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise, the candelabrum. There does it sum it up, because I won't be accepting rebuttals. I'm afraid you might have to. There is a serious hole in your testimony. There is? I didn't spot any. Good thing you're the one in charge here, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright then, time to fight back. You have to win this for us. And I will. Time to take Franziska's testimony to task. Yes. You conceded at the point rather easily. I can't help but to be suspicious. I am not one in the habit of denying the facts that are readily supported by evidence. That's all there is to it. You were able to show that the murder actually took place in the storeroom. In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction.
Hold it!
Oops. And exactly how did you come to that conclusion? Members of the big building staff were questioned extensively, but none of them mentioned a secret storeroom. It seemed that the existence was known to only a handful of people. And of course, that storeroom was where the items that were being sold in the auction were being kept. Very good, which suggests a link between the knowledge of the storeroom and the involvement in the auction.
Hold it!
So you believe that the victim and the ringleader were the one and the same? I do, and the murderer was? Why are you asking her this? You said the exact same thing yourself, dummy. So I did. But I was merely confirming Franziska's reasoning in order to... Oh, don't give me that horse feed. You got caught saying something stupid. You'll give a little laugh and move on with your day. The murderer was one of the auction attendees. What? You don't got no notes of our friend here. After that little performance of his. Of course, I'm assuming that our friend, the photographer, word, can be trusted. I can't quite tell if they love or hate one another. Anyway, the more relevant point here is how the culprit actually carried out their plan. The killer lay in wait for the victim in the storeroom where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place. They soon stabbed the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise, the candelabra. A reasonably coherent explanation of the events of the surface, but something's off. I need to see if I can tease a little more out of her. Tease a little more out of her? I don't want to rebut this woman. In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction. Yeah. If the photograph is to believe, the victim was the auctioneer and the culprit was the attendee. What if it's the other way around? What if she was an attendee, but they found her and killed her because she wasn't supposed to be there? Maybe. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. She could be the auctioneer. Photo taken just after the incident by Lotta Hart, who snuck in the storeroom. The ringleader and the auction attendee came up on the elevator. A scream was heard not long after. A box in which the killer hid the body. Traces of blood were detected inside. Sorry about that. I just noticed the color was like bleeding a little bit. I don't know why it does that. I really don't. I apologize if that's been annoying you. Why does it do that? Properties. Yeah, I apologize for that. Now everything looks normal now. Sorry. A little bit. I'm sorry. Okay. What do I pick here? With my evidence, I don't know what they would want me to present. What I found in the committee chamber was placed there to hide the existence of the storeroom. Mysterious auction. Victim of the case, a defense attorney who has secretly been a ringleader. If the hurt stops, the will carry it on. He's older than her. Wow. Okay. The killer lay in wait for the victim in the storeroom where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place. Okay. Magenta flower made of fabric that is usually worn on the chest as a decoration, torn from the victim's clothes. Didn't Kay have this? Shoot. I do not know what to present here. Or which one to present it on as well. In the photograph simply, the victim was the auctioneer and the culprit was an attendee. I don't really see a problem with that. In which case the murderer is someone connected to the auction. I don't think the killer was lying in wait, though. Maybe this is what I do. I don't think the killer was lying in wait.
Objection!
Just throw it out there. It's wrong, but throw it out there. Yeah, I don't know what to present here, like, at all. Because Miles sees the contradiction. I do not yet. Or the whole, as he put it. I don't see it yet. I do not. Do not. But I kind of want to present the candelabrum because there's very little blood on it, and he clearly has blood on his hand. So let's try that as a possibility.
Objection!
Nope. Nope. Okay, well then I don't know. I'm not sure. Huh. A killer lying in wait for the victim in the storeroom where the exchange of illicit goods take place. What about the box? Is the box in any use in this?
Objection!
No. If the photographer is to be believed, the victim was the auctioneer and the culprit was an attendee. I kind of feel like it's the other way around, but because don't worry, I'll make sure you get your precious thing back. I think she would be not the auctioneer, but the attendee bidding for Kay's book. If Kay's book was to be up for grabs. But her book might not have been up for grabs. What about the head injury? Was it actually post-mortem? Because who knows if what's her face is you know, that notebook promises K. She has blood on her hand too. Did she pull it out? But then there would be blood on the candelabrum. I don't know. I can't discredit that merchandise theory, but
Objection!
I want to show all my meaningless stuff I crammed in my pockets. Then they stabbed. I don't know. Don't know what I need to do here. I'm really perplexed. I'll figure it out eventually, but still, I don't know what I'm doing here. He knows, but I don't, because I don't know. He's just like, yo, I know what it is. But then I'm like, do you want to fill me in, Edgeworth? Because I'm with Emma here. This looks pretty, almost probably what it is. Oops, I didn't want to go to... what do I do here? Maybe it could be this. Nope. I don't know what the... I don't have the foggiest. Where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place. Why can't I speed through this? Is that a new one? The killer line wait for the victim to storm, exchange of goods to take place. Did I do this already? Okay, the Vic or this doesn't matter. Did I do this here? No. All right. He has blood on his hand, but there's no blood on the candelabrum, except for the spikes. So that's what got me a little like, I don't know. I'm already probably gonna get dinged for this, but let's do it. Narc. What do I present? And where do I present it? We got to find that, but I still have not figured that out yet. Well, let's go to the end statement here. Maybe he'll give me a little help here. He's a little more out of her. That's not very helpful.
Hold it.
I'm not sure if I need to save this or use this now.
Objection! Objection!
Yeah. Then they stab the victim in the... There's like no blood on this at all. Not counting the tips. So since it's just on the tips, it feels like maybe she was bludgeoned to death of something and then stabbed with the candelabrum. Post-mortem. But I might be wrong. I've never seen anyone stabbed with anything before, so it's not like I could say that's what would actually happen. I don't know. I think Kay was standing in a different spot, but don't matter. Francisca, what do I need to hit you with? What do I contradict in here? What do I do? What do I do? Keycard record. Probably not. I don't think this really matters. But if it was Verity, that'd be crazy. There's 11 attendees, so there's blood on the person's hand. Too bad I can't see much more out of that. Wait a minute. What if that's her? What if she didn't die at that time? Like, crazy theory here. Maybe she was doing something different, getting her revenge, as Kay put it. And then someone else murdered her way after the fact, obviously. Whoever was doing the cover-up that Edgeworth was thinking, like, someone used her key card, because there's a 2-hour difference there. So I guess by the time Verity got in there, they did this auction. Maybe she was the one in the red coat. And then got killed a little bit later. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. But that does not help me here now. Doesn't. In which case the murderer is someone connected to the auction.
Objection!
I was gonna do this here too, because it may not be the ringleader's appearance. Okay. Smack me. Illicit goods take place. Exchange illicit goods. The goods.
Objection!
Now, I know I'm gonna feel dumb when I figure it out, but and if the photographer is to be believed, the victim was the auctioneer and the culprit was the attendee.
Hold it!
Oh shoot, does this one again. We present lot of statement.
Objection! Hold it!
What is this? um I want to present but didn't they come up together? So why would he be laying in wait? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Where's it say that they came up together? Does it? I do this already? Then they stab the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise, the candelabrum. What haven't I put here?
Objection!
Yeah, I don't think I'm really getting anything out of this. Maybe it's so glaringly obvious that I'm just too dumb to figure out. I don't know. Because I don't feel like I'm getting enough to go on, to be honest. Or maybe it's so obvious it's like, I don't know.
Objection!
I don't know. I don't know. Illicit goods, the book? Let me try her. I think I did this already, but
Objection!
no. Okay, yeah. If you guys already know the answer, I apologize. Because I could see it driving people crazy that is like, it's so obvious, it's right there. What the, like, you know. But I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be presenting that this hole in her testimony is. I have no clue. I really don't. No clue at all.
Objection!
Francisco, what do you think about this? Ah. I'll try the box here too,
Objection!
if I haven't already done it. See, it'd be nice if you could present profiles too, because they're gonna be like, it was Hilda Hertz. Just push the button and he wears a lot of red, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was Excelsius winner. Would not be surprised at all. Killer lie in wait in the storeroom. Exchange illicit goods take place. Is to be believed. The victim was an auctioneer and the culprit was an attendee.
Objection!
Did I do this already?
Objection!
Uh. Then they stabbed the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise. Yeah, I really don't know. Like, it could be the easiest thing in the world, but I don't know. I really don't. I don't think I'm gonna make it through this.
Objection!
Like, I don't have anything with the auction, so it's like, I really don't know. Killer line wait in the storeroom where the exchange of illicit goods take place.
Objection!
Not elevator blood. Huh. Like, I have so much stuff, but I don't know.
Objection!
See, that's the one that said they came up together, I think. Let me try it here too.
Objection!
No? All right. Green Internet auction attendee came up on the elevator. The scream was heard not too long after. Hey. Oh, man. What do I present here? Like, this is getting crazy. Like, I don't want to just spam every sentence, like, with the same item. Like, let me have it. Progress, they believe the victim and the auctioneer are culprit. Let's press on the guy.
Objection!
Wait, did I never press that one? Oh. Fuck. I believe we can reasonably assume that the murder took place after the auction had concluded.
Objection!
It seems you're one step behind yet again, Franziska. How so? The auctioneer was not in fact the victim, I can prove it. This is a statement Miss Hart gave us. Well, if she made it, then it's worth the air she used to say it. I done told you, I'm a journalist, dagnabbit. My word is youch. Did I ask you to open your mouth? Double youch.
Objection!
Calm down and listen for a second, Franziska. Miss Hart witnessed at least some of the events surrounding the murder. She confirmed that the auction continued even after the murder had occurred. You bet it did. Went right around and nothing like had happened at all. How would that have been possible without an auctioneer? It wouldn't. So you see, the victim could have not been the auctioneer. She was one of the attendees. No! As I've been saying since the start, there is no way Kay can be the murderer, because she had been pushed down the hatch by her assailant and knocked unconscious by that time. So then, who was the victim really? Right, well, the auction carried out after the murder. The victim must not have been the auctioneer, but an attendee. That's enough. I know that sound too well. In order the courtroom, all rise for the chairman. Oh, there's no need to be that prompt in circumstance verity. Please, everyone, feel free to call me Celsius. Yes, that would do nicely. Alright, Celsius, what are you doing here? You can still call me Dad, you ass. Oh, I just stopped by and see how my bone-headed boy was getting along. They say there's all sorts of families, but I'm not sure those two are what they meant. I thought I might need to light a fire under this investigation, but it seems not. I suspect everyone's searching high and low for right back where we all started. Men, detain the suspect immediately. Wait, Miss Faraday is innocent. That's a lot of fire. Shut your meddling mouth. Why are you so angry? You're becoming something of a problem, Miles, my boy. I thought I told you. The committee wants this matter cleaned up as soon as possible. The matter of trust. We can't have our organization be seen to drag its feet. It's bad for us, and it's bad for me, too. Personally, sorry to say it. It must be my age. Sob. Your unlawful investigation ends here, and it will not be permitted to resume. In the case you have forgotten, you are no longer a prosecutor. You have no authority here. And what's more, there is a matter of you aiding and abetting a suspect. She's right, of course. As always, you really are a godsend, Verity. Everything I do, everything knowingly, If you wish to prosecute me for it, be my guest. But know this. We have uncovered a new suspect. This is your person here. Miss Faraday was attacked by this You can stop right there, Mr. Edgeworth. That raincoat in that picture was discovered nearby a short while ago. The victim's blood was found on the hood along with some cherry blossom petals. Cherry blossom petals? Like the one on the roof. Yes, they were stuck to the edges of the bloodstains, probably due to the blood being fresh at the time. The results came back already, my boy. So there's no mistaking it. This person in this picture is the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer. What? No, this is completely undermines our entire case. Our assumptions were based on the person in the raincoat being the killer. But if they were the victim instead, then Kay remains the top of the suspect list. Miss Faraday, you testified having encountered a person in a red raincoat on top of the roof, correct? Yes, I did. We know that the person was the murder victim. And you are the only person we know who came into contact with her. Will you look at her, you doofuses? She's all banged up. Since one of you wound up dead, I think we all know how that encounter went.
Objection!
No, Kay was attacked by that person. She was the victim here, not the aggressor. As far as I recall, we have yet to see any evidence that proves that she was attacked as you claimed. Yeah, the nurse lady. And even if such proof existed, Miss Ringer could have simply been acting in self-defense. Well, you can't just jump to conclusions like that. Kay is innocent. But I'm not. Kay? I am not innocent. I don't even want to believe it, but I remember something. Hearing about the raincoat brought it back. Just out of a flash, but I remember what I saw now. Right when it happened. The murderer, it was me. I remember looking down and the person in the red raincoat was on the ground. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I am the murderer. I am the murderer. No, you're not. You can't be. Then what am I? Why do I have memory like that? Because you're a dumbass. And we were on the floor in front of me. There was a pool of blood. Why was I standing there? Why didn't I do something? I know why. It's because I was the killer. The court recognized the legitimacy of the accused's memories. What? But you said you don't believe her like 5 minutes ago. I commend you on your bravery, Miss Faraday. It will not go unrewarded. Praise the goddess of justice for her many blessings.
Objection!
Please whip her. As an official representative of Interpol, I hereby request that the suspect be... We don't have time for this. We must arrest Kay Faraday this instant. How dare you take that tone with me? This is a gross overreach of authority. I demand that you give us more time to investigate. You say my investigation is unlawful. What could be more unlawful than this? Unfortunately, you no longer speak for the law. Now we have you on a technicality, so bleh. Indeed, you don't, but I do. And while I can help but moved by your dedication to your friend, I have to agree with Verity. Speaking of the law, it seems that there is one other we must arrest. Ah yes, I almost forgot. Miles. I'm a pyro. What are you talking about? Mr. Edgeworth was just doing his job. He didn't even do anything wrong. He wasn't doing squat. By which I mean to say, unfortunately, Miles no longer serving any kind of official capacity. You went too far this time, Mr. Edgeworth. You conducted an unlawful investigation. Worse, you aided and abetted the flight of a suspect. You are no longer even an ex-prosecutor. You are a criminal, nothing more. Yuck. Oh, that reminds me. There was supposed to be a hearing today, wasn't there? Concerning your conduct. I'll make sure it's officially rescheduled tomorrow. Although, I fear you already know the outcome. Look, this is an opportunity to reflect on your actions, Miles. A chance to really think long and hard. This court is adjourned. If Verity's in the next case, then it's probably Excelsius. I'm just gonna point fingers. Just I'm just gonna be like, you did it. You did it. Oh wow, we're here. Never thought I'd spend another night in here again. And they stripped me of all my evidence, so we painstakingly gathered. Even if they did let me keep Casey out of Grassel Pit, I can't help but worry about her. They better be treating her well. The murderer, it was me. I remember looking down and the person in the red raincoat was on the ground. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer. But you were just standing there. You didn't even have a weapon in your hand. What is wrong with you? Come on, let's go. You have a visitor. A visitor? Who? Something by the name of Dick Gumshoe. Want me to send him away? No. Though I'm sure what he even has to say to him. Wait there. They're leaving me unsupervised? Forgive the intrusion. Verity? Judge Gambit. Please, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a seat. What are you doing here? I was told it was Detective Gumshoe. I'd imagine you wouldn't come if you knew it was me. Is she giving me a plot twist? Because I kind of like don't like these two right now. And if she's going to give me a, yo, we're secretly working together to bag us a goon. You know what I mean? What could she possibly want from me now? I suppose I better find out. You may not be aware of this, but you are only permitted to meet with specially approved visitors. So I'm treated like a dangerous criminal, am I? I suppose my reputation has rather plummeted. It has indeed, for you, of course, and your friends. That attorney and the other girl were raising quite the fuss earlier. Fenda and Emma. I saw them launch some extremely heated words at one of the guards. No, you didn't. You may thank the goddess in that regard, for even she was too busy to deal with each and every infraction. They will not be punished for their bad behavior. Did you come here to chit-chat with me? You must have a lot of time on your hands. Oh, speaking of which, Miss Von Karma is continuing the investigation where you left off. Am I going to play as her? I just thought you would like to know. I figured you would have been worried how they were getting along, or what they were doing. I hate to admit it, but she read me like a book. Your motive. Let's cut to the chase, Your Honor. Why are you really here? I'm here to simply talk, nothing more. There is something I wish you to know about. Me? Yes, who else? Objectively speaking, you're highly intelligent and quick-witted. And a born prosecutor at that. Please, Judge Cavell, your sarcastic phrase is but salt on my wounds. But since you mean every word, Mr. Edgeworth, and it was why I failed to understand you. Take this latest case, for example. You were up against the very committee itself. You had no hope of it succeeding. And even a child could have seen that. And yet, I don't imagine the old me would have ever been so reckless. The old me had power. And because of that, I thought that justice was always on my side. Just as you and the committee believe now. But a certain person changed my mind. Is that Phoenix? He made me reckon with my selfish and skewed sense of justice. And once the scales had fallen from my eyes, I began to look at people differently. I saw that I was not able to be an effective prosecutor, thanks to the effects of those around me. Detective Gumshoe, many investigative officers of the force, and even Kay. It changed me, with the degree to which it changed me still surprises me to this day. I see, thank you. I feel that perhaps I will understand you a little better now. You understand me? I highly doubt it. Someone who has so focused on forcing their ideas of justice into others can't possibly see what I see. Is that so? Is that what you truly believe? I will say one thing. This has been a very interesting conversation, that is all. Before I go, there is one remaining matter. I was asked to inform you that the date of your hearing has been confirmed. It will be held today in the trial chamber. The committee sends its warmest regards. If that was all you had to tell me, then you could have just sent a message. And entrust the goddess' words to another? That wouldn't do now, would it? Until then, Mr. Edgeworth, I'll see you again very shortly. A very basic bed. I can't say it's very comfortable to sleep on, however. I imagine Detective Gumshoe sleeps soundly on it nonetheless, loudly snoring all the while. I suppose I'll never get to work together again. I don't have any regrets. The bed I've made. I'll follow my own path to the end. This window is barred with heavy steel. That reminds me of a movie I saw. A person needed hexapod escaping using a file to cut the cell bars. I won't be doing that, of course. For one thing, I don't have a file on me at the moment. What am I saying? I wouldn't even do that if I did have one. There's a note on the wall next to the toilet. Sorry, we're currently out of toilet paper. Please make necessary mental preparations before using the toilet. What sort of mental preparations can you even make? There's a menu here on the table. It seems the detainees are able to pay to have their meals brought to their cells. What looks good? Spaghetti and mac and cheese for lunch. Alugini for $1. Basmati and brown rice. Special. For limited time, only add regular rice at no extra cost. It's probably for the best I'm not very hungry. I've barely spent any time in here and I already can feel my personal appearance slipping. I may not have given up my badge, but I mustn't give up myself. My collar. It's slightly creased. There. A tidy outside begets a tidy inside. Which is why it's more important now than ever to take care of myself. There's a poster in a corner outside. We regret to announce that due to the warden's arrest, the Die of the Destiny game will be discontinued. Inmates will no longer need to roll the die every morning to determine their meals for the day. We wholeheartedly apologize to who were looking forward to their daily casting of the die. Did anyone really need an apology for the cessation of ridiculous in the first place? Do I have another visitor? Kay. Oh, thank goodness, you seem alright. That's a load off my mind. Ah, such a heartwarming scene. It's enough to make a grown man cry. But you're still not your usually cheery. I mean, you have to stay positive, Kay. You don't have to do it. You haven't done anything wrong. In fact, I guarantee you didn't. No, you have to let it go. I'm the murderer. I knew that now. But you're not. You can't be. Why don't you have any faith in yourself? How can I? Mr. Edgeworth, there is no me left to believe in. None at all. I don't think that's true. Before you lost your memory, we spent quite a lot of time together. And I dare say that you left quite an impression on me. So you see, there is still plenty of you left. That's why I believe so much in your innocence. And why you should believe in yourself too. Thank you. But I can't. I would just be more of a pain to both of us. Please, you have to forget her. Forget that Kay. She's gone. Well, you need to bring her back. Kay, no. You remind me of my younger self, you know. So noble, so bold. This is justice you and the committee stand for. Justice? I suppose you could call it that. What is he up to? Why is he going to such lengths to control everything? I can't shake the feeling that something is very wrong here. Is something hidden Jenna at play? This is no time to second guess myself. I'm going to find out what it is. Now or never. Well then, my boy, I suppose I should be... Wait. Why is the chairman so intent on seeing Kay charged with this murder? It doesn't make any sense. There must be some rhyme or reason of this madness. Come now, Miles. I'm busy, important man. I can't be wasting my precious time talking to you. The only way out of our current predicament is through the chairman winner. There's so much to ask, and so little time. So let's start by trying to find out what he's rushed to have Kay arrested so quickly. I can't just let that happen. I'm getting my answers. It is the last thing I do. Mind just commence. Why are we so keen to push through Kay's arrest? I've yet to hear a satisfactory explanation. An explanation. I am entirely sure of what you mean. Don't give me that. You know exactly what I mean. Tut tut tut. I advise you moderate your tone, dear boy. I need to remind you of your position. And I suppose that we let your friend go free. What then? What do you mean, what then? You think how it would look, my boy? And who would have to take the blame? Me? That's who. You're right to keep your mouth shut. That way, you won't have say anything foolish. Sorry, but I can't stay silent forever. Not while Kay's innocence is still in doubt. Ah, so you're breaking my heart. Just look at the floor of tears, spilling out. Please, just leave it alone, will you? Things were coming along nicely until you interfered. Coming along nicely? That's a pretty strange way of putting it. It's almost as if you wanted Kay arrest to happen. It certainly doesn't sound like the statement of an impartial representative of the law. You think so? Well, that wasn't my intention. It has occurred to you that might be just overthinking things a little. Chairman Winner certainly knows how to dodge a question, but it doesn't change the fact that the serious doubts remain concerning Kay's arrest. Next, we need to press him on whatever really believes an investigation was sufficient. We can't allow any of his statements go unexamined, no matter how trivial they may seem. One of them just will give us the breakthrough we need. Kay is innocent. No, my boy. That's just clumsy. Anyone can burn out baseless exertion like that. Can even disgrace superior prosecutor. It's no good. I don't have enough information to take that any further. It just has a chance to come, and it'll be ready when it does. You can hardly say that the investigation was sufficient. And you're the one who called the shots, weren't you not? Or, you're the one who called the shots, weren't you? Including the decision to have Kay arrested. Oh, I'm afraid now I'm near as influential as you think, dear boy. You're the chairman of the committee. It does get much more influential than that. Not that I care about such things. You wound me. It's enough to drive an old man into tears. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not of the deferential type. Well, if you're going to insist on being so blunt, then I'm afraid you won't be seeing your prosecutor badge again anytime soon. I've got you now. You're backed into a corner. You don't even know it. You need to cut an old man some slack. I can't keep that youthful energy. Why do you burn a stack of papers? Because I should pick my words more wisely. Let me make something clear once and for all. That badge isn't a be-all, end-all for me. Far from it. I'm not concerned with titles or roles or even must understand that much. So young, so very young. A word of advice, Miles. From somebody who's been around the block. You're hopelessly naive, my boy. Idiotically so. Well, that certainly got under his skin. He might be less guarded from his answers while he's in this state. Now's my chance. How much time were you spent on an investigation altogether? My, you really don't give up, do you? But even my patience has its limits, you know. What a coincidence, so does mine. Now answer the question. Do you believe that your investigation was sufficient or not? Ah, the youth these days aren't used to be so reckless. It makes me want to put you in your place. You're going to regret that, my boy. Well, maybe you do know your place after all. What's the matter, scared? Oh, hardly. I was just thinking about how to best proceed. Getting answers from the elderly requires sensitivity. They can get quite emotional after all. You have no common sense whatsoever, do you? Don't you understand your fate rests in my hands? Let's say you do manage to get some answers from me. There's nothing you can do with them. So why not just give up, dear boy? No. And why not? It's simple. Because I'm not about to let the truth escape me. Interesting. I think I'm beginning to see what makes you tick. But what you're doing is pointless, tragic. Sniffle. And miserably pointless. Please, just give up. She's guilty. The decision has been made. Once again, your choice of words intrigues me. It's almost as if Kay's guilt has already been determined before her arrest. What are you trying to imply? I'm implying that things have gone as they normally should. In fact, everything proceeded as Kay's arrest was the end goal right from the very start. Well, Chairman Winner, was it? That's certainly intriguing theory. But if it's also a complete work of fiction, and I'm afraid I don't have time for such flights of fancy. To think every time I brought this shabby little farce to the end, don't you? No, he's trying to make his escape. We must confirm the legality of Kay's arrest before it slips away. It's faint, but the truth finally beginning to emerge, and I'm not about to let this opportunity pass me by. Wait, we're not done yet. I'm tired of us talking, so make it brief, will you? Based on everything you've heard so far, is it clear that Kay's arrest is entirely unfounded? Yes, I think we're all familiar with the particular refrain of yours by now. But I'm afraid it doesn't matter either way. You don't have what it takes to secure her release anyhow. How dare you take this so lightly as a man of the law? My, aren't you rude, little boy? But my fuse is only so long. Honestly speaking, I don't have the time to waste on every last question you can dream up. I certainly a certain responsibility to attend to. You know, I am quite a busy man. Or are you just pretending to be busy, That's an awful thing to say to a fragile old man. I work harder than I should at my age. I ask you, my boy, what could you even hope to accomplish by setting up such pretense? You obviously don't want to talk about the case anymore. That's why you've been keen to get out of this conversation, isn't it? It's just so tragic. It is really. That you would suspect me of such things. It's not a suspicion, it's a certainty. There are no clear grounds on which to base Kay's arrests before I start. Now, my boy, let's not get carried away. There was plenty of evidence to support our case. The mask, the letter, the courage. These are all her possession. And of course, her confession. More than enough to prove her guilt, I'd say. But those are... What's the matter? Struggling to come up with a way to explain away everything. Well, there we have it. Your silence speaks volumes. It's true, I can't counter your argument right now. But you did let something valuable slip. A suspiciously detailed knowledge of the evidence against Kay. He rattled it off to that list, like he knew it inside out. I think it might be proof, a valuable clue. Kay is innocent. No, my boy, that's just clumsy. Anyone could blurt out places to search in like that. Even disgraced superstar prosecutor. Yeah. Oh, what? I've exhausted it. Okay. Who gave the order to decide Kay should be arrested? You know. I can't seem to remember. Don't ever get old, Miles, my boy. It reeks of havoc on your memory. Time to deploy my clue. I'd appreciate it if you stopped playing the old man card. You remembered the details of the evidence against Kay pretty clearly. Perhaps your memory didn't fail you when it was convenient. I'd be more inclined to believe you. So let me ask you again, who gave the order for Kay's arrest? You're a sharp one. I'll give you that. My son could learn a thing or two from you. If it hadn't been such an incurable numbskull, that is a tragedy, really. I don't want to hear about your son. I want to know about who authorized the arrest. You're very mean. You know that, don't you? The arrest, you say? I believe the order was given by... Come on now, Chairman Winter. We both know it was you. Alright, you got me. You make me sound like I somehow a bad thing, though. But I have a reputation to uphold, so I guess I'd better clear up this little misunderstanding. I'll certainly answer your question a few more minutes. Then let's see if you can I can put your mind at ease. The key thing to do now is to establish how intimately he knows the details of the case. I just have to ask the right questions. The end game is at hand. The suspect, Kay Faraday. How much do you know about her exactly? I know she's the suspect. Aside from that, not much else. Cross my heart, it's true. I don't have a clue to proceed. I better ask another fact for now. Okay. You seem to know that the case is quite some detail. I know a lot of things, my boy. I'm just smart like that. Too bad the same can't be said about the way you handled Kay's arrest. I'm a very busy man. Try to remember that I can bring this little chat to an end whenever I choose. It's only taking so long because you won't give me straight answers to any of my questions. If you'd only stop giving me the runaround, we'd be done already. So let's try this again. You seem to know the details of it quite intimately. Why is that? Because I read the case file. Not exactly the most thrilling use of my time, of course, but this is part of the job. I have to be a good role model. I can't be seen slacking off. It can be done so hard. But I had some time on my hands, so I read the whole thing from cover to cover. That's strange. You could have sworn you just told me that you're a very busy man. I'd say the cracks are finally starting to show, wouldn't you? If you've been If you've been so keen on keeping an upstanding leader, you can start by releasing Kay, you know. You really don't give up, do you? It's a moving sight indeed, my boy. But a tragic one too. After all, your efforts are for naught. I'm afraid your little friend was found unconscious near the scene of the crime. We have yet to hear much about the circumstances under which Kay was found. She was lying unconscious in a storeroom, correct? That's right. Although I'm not at liberty to tell you how I know that. Because you found the body. He knows things even we didn't. In fact, he seems to be very well of every tiny detail about this case. This could be a valuable clue. I have exhausted this avenue. Oh, okay. Sorry, but you know more than you tell me. Less sense your story makes. For one thing, you know the details of those investigating the scene. We're not aware of. Why is that? Just how much do you really know, Chairman Winner? Oh, there's an intimidating face you like to make again. Well, two can play this game. How about you like me now, hmm? Do I have to commend you on your dodgiousness? It's really something. I'll take that as a compliment. Take it however you like, but wrap this up, will you? I don't have much stamina anymore. She's the culprit and only the possible suspect. Just accept that already. Now, how much more evidence did you want us to load on her down with? For goodness sake. Load her down with. Yet another interesting turn of phrase. One makes it sound like sounds like the items Kay was carrying might have been foisted upon her. Impressive. You really do pay attention, don't you? It's no wonder they used to call you a prodigy, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. I think you know the answer to your question by now. Why don't you just go ahead and say it? I want to hear it from you. It's finally time. This shed light on the truth. All that's left now is playing my last move. Kay is innocent. No, my boy. That's just clumsy. Anyone can pull it out based on something like that. I need to deploy my clue. Kay was framed. The true culprit set it all up so she could take the fall instead. That's my answer, and I won't let you deny it any longer. Oh my god. Oh, my. You're really a sharp one, hmm? It's a bit of shame for you. Choose to hand in your badge. Admit it, you're right on all accounts. And that's checkmate. I'm facing the wrong way. You knew Kay wasn't the real murderer, and yet you still had her arrested. What's worse, you thought you could get away with it. Well, you won't. Not if I can help it. There you go with that naivety again. My boy, I guess that was just your problem. With a girl arrested and convicted secured, this whole mess goes away. And that's what will happen. But whose interest does this conclusion like that serve? The committee's, I suppose. And mine. Oh, you know, listening to you just now, well, it's really got the tears flowing, I'd say. It was poignant and heartfelt and sincere and utterly infuriating. Look, I'm not perfect, I know that, but your lack of sophistication in the matters is beyond the pale. You insist that the truth is more important than anything else. But would you say the same if I knew what was real value of the truth is? What are you trying to say? When you get to my level, you don't uncover the truth. You make it little by little. Kay Faraday, murderer. That's the truth I created. Yes, my boy. That's what I like to see. You're so sincere sometimes, it's painful. And it just makes me want to put you in your place. Knowing the real truth will get you nowhere. Because that's how much it is worth. Nothing. Shocking, I know. But why would you go after the real killer? How much do you even know about what really happened? You're still not getting it. That's your truth. And it is worthless. Mine is all that matters. You understand what I'm saying, don't you, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor? I have all the power here. Curse you. Well, aren't you menacing? You and your little friend are just as bad as each other. Violent criminals who deserve to be locked up. You'll pay for this. And with that, yet another person disappears from my life. Oh, and it just makes me want to cry and cry and cry. This guy sucks. I'm not planning to disappear just yet. Chairman Winner. There's still the hearing later today. Just you wait. One way or another, I'll prove Kay's innocent. To the world then. 10 members over the majority are present. I hereby call this hearing to order. We all gathered here today to assess the professional competency of Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Here in the sight of the goddess, we solemnly swear to pass fair and frank judgment. Fair and frank. Don't make me laugh. Verity, if you would be so kind to summarize this case against Mr. Edgeworth. On April 5th, despite having advised of the illegally of an investigation he was conducting, the accused refused to desist, and evenly had to detained by myself and Chairman Winner. His actions compromised and the investigation into the murder of a certain defense attorney. And despite having been presented with copious evidence of her guilt, he continues to insist that the suspect, 1K Faraday, is innocent of all charges. Perhaps you could explain the details of the murder to us as well. Of course, on the morning of the 5th, the body of the victim was found here in the committee's chamber. Further explanation will be provided by me, Useless Winner, Premier Prosecutor. The floor is yours, Mr. Winner. The murder itself happened late last night on the 4th. The victim was Miss Rosie Ringer. The same night, an illicit auction being held here. That same night, the illicit auction was being held here in this Ringer took part in that auction. I think, yeah. Meaning that the murder took place sometime during that auction. When she was found, Ringer was dressed in an outfit that matched the description of the auctioneers. However, due to the fact the auction carried out after the murder had occurred, I deduced that Ringer was not in fact the auctioneer. You deduced nothing of the sort. And what was about the basis on which the suspect was detained, Mr. Winner? Yeah, I got this. So Faraday was overcome by crushing remorse, Eustace. Yeah, that. Tons of crushing remorse. So she confessed. According to her confession, she was on the floor of this building when she encountered the person in red raincoat on the viewing platform. And that person was Miss Ringer, I take it? Precisely. Mr. Chairman, the killer dressed the victim in the auctioneer's outfit after the fact. But at the same time she was killed, Miss Ringer was wearing a red raincoat. And who run the race that found the raincoat nearby? Me, that's who. Did you? I thought it was somebody from forensics. Strictly speaking, it was found by one of the forensics investigators under Mr. Winter's command. I knew it. The blood analysis on the raincoat showed that it was indeed Miss Ringer who had worn it. And the suspect's confession was final nail in the coffin. She confirmed having committed the murder. So you can see, Kay, Faraday was the killer. There was anybody else who could have done it. I think there was. All right, Miles. I expect you have some objections, so let's hear them out, shall we? I have no objections, Chairman Winner. Well now, is that so? I thought it would have taken... No objections in the matter of my unauthorized investigation, that is. But in the fact of the matter, Miss Faraday's supposed guilt, I have plenty. Shut up, Faraday. I can personally attest to the fact that Mr. Winter's investigation was fair and impartial. Of course it was. When it comes to carefully conducted ops, I'm the winner every time. You know, Miles, within the power of my offer, you have a plea deal of sorts. If you, and this purely hypothetical of course, you were to withdraw your objections, you might wake up tomorrow and find yourself proud owner of a seat of this committee. So I ask you again, do you have any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? If you think you can buy my silence, think again. You will watch your mouth. Only if the chairman watches his. I didn't come here to talk about committee seats. I came here to talk about the murder case. I demand a statement under oath, and I won't rest until I have one. I want to know exactly what the committee's view on this incident is. You want to put us on trial, my boy. Very well. If it will make you happy. Verity, please provide Mr. Edgeworth with the materials pertaining to the case. Really? But sir... This will be his last hurrah. So let's humor him with the second send-off he desires. If you say so, Mr. Chairman. You have no objections to Verity representing the committee, I assume. None whatsoever. Mr. Edgeworth, don't worry, Kay. Everything will be fine, you see. Okay, we're gonna... Yeah, stop it there. It's been 3 hours. I don't want to make these too long because I think I get better results having it be a couple hours. It's 3 in this case. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you again on Monday. We'll hopefully continue this case till the end here. Hopefully tomorrow will be the last. I didn't expect this one to be super long. But who knows? Who knows? This could be super long for all I know. Because this is the 4th case. And there is actually a 5th one. Even though they're like, this is the last one you'll ever see. Like, no, it's not. There's literally another one. So, see you guys on Monday. Thank you all for watching. Follow on Twitch. Or like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Let me know how you're feeling. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.